What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got some huge news on Micah Parsons, the centerpiece of the Cowboys defense, and things are starting to get interesting. Rumors have been swirling that the Dallas Cowboys might be facing a major crossroads when it comes to one of the NFL's most dominant players. Could Micah Parsons, yes, the Micah Parsons, be traded? Or will he sign a massive contract extension to stay in Dallas for years to come? Insiders are dropping hints, and the situation is heating up. Stay with me, because we're going to break down everything we know so far, the potential trade talks, and what might happen next. First off, let's talk about who Micah Parsons is and what he's done for this Cowboys defense. The guy is a freak of nature. In just a few years, he's turned into one of the most feared defenders in the entire league. Remember when the Cowboys selected him 12th overall in the 2021 NFL Draft? That pick turned out to be a home run. Parsons came in and instantly made an impact, racking up 13 sacks in his rookie season, earning a spot as a finalist for Defensive Player of the Year, and quickly becoming one of the most exciting players to watch. Whether it's rushing the quarterback, dropping into coverage, or sniffing out plays, Parsons can do it all. He's the heart and soul of this defense, and it's impossible to ignore just how much he means to the Cowboys. But now, as we're heading into the 2024 season, there's a sense that things might be changing. You've probably heard the whispers by now. Could Micah Parsons actually be on the move? It sounds almost impossible, right? A player with his talent, leadership, and energy? But there are some interesting developments that we need to talk about, and I'm going to break it down for you. NFL insiders have begun to suggest that for all his brilliance, Parsons could become a trade asset if the Cowboys feel they can't reach a deal with him on a new contract. We know Jerry Jones loves making bold moves, but is trading Parsons even a realistic possibility? Let's get into the financial side of things. Parsons, how much will you trade me for? We all know the Cowboys roster has some expensive pieces. With Dak Prescott's hefty deal, CeeDee Lamb's upcoming contract extension, and a defense that includes stars like Trayvon Diggs and DeMarcus Lawrence, the Cowboys are navigating some serious salary cap issues. Parsons is currently in the third year of his 4-year rookie deal, and he's earned a big payday. He's been playing at an all-pro level, and everyone knows he's about to get paid. But the question is, will it be by the Cowboys? We know Jerry Jones doesn't shy away from spending big money, but sometimes with the salary cap in mind, tough decisions have to be made. Could they decide that Parsons is too expensive to keep in the fold, even though he's one of the best players in the league? Let's say the Cowboys can't work out an extension with him and things get ugly. What would that mean? Well, insiders have hinted that if they can't reach an agreement with Parsons soon, they could entertain trade offers. And when we talk about trade value, we're talking about a huge return. Parsons is one of the most valuable assets in the NFL right now, and if a team comes knocking with multiple first-round picks or a combination of players and picks, the Cowboys would have to at least consider it. Imagine a team like the New York Giants or even the Kansas City Chiefs, who could be in need of a top-tier defender, offering up a monster package for Parsons. It sounds insane, but in the NFL, anything can happen. Still, let's be real for a second. Trading Parsons would be a massive risk for the Cowboys. The guy is an absolute game changer, and it's hard to imagine anyone replacing him on that defense. But Jerry Jones is known for taking bold risks, and he's shown that he's willing to shake up the roster if it means keeping the team competitive long-term. While it's hard to picture Parsons in another uniform, the truth is that if the Cowboys decide they can't come to terms with him, they might have no other choice but to explore the trade market. It's a tough pill to swallow, but it's something we've seen happen before in the NFL. Just ask the Houston Texans about DeAndre Hopkins. But before we get too carried away with trade speculation, there's also the extension option. And honestly, that's where things get really exciting. NFL insiders are also reporting that the Cowboys are actively working on a contract extension for Micah Parsons, which would be absolutely huge for both him and the franchise. Parsons is undeniably one of the best defensive players in the NFL, and a long-term deal would keep him in Dallas for years to come. A contract extension would secure Parsons' future with the Cowboys and ensure that the defense stays in great hands. There's no question about it. Parsons is the cornerstone of the defense, and Jerry Jones knows that. But how much will it cost? Well, according to reports, we're talking about a record-breaking deal, possibly one that could make Micah Parsons one of the highest-paid defensive players in NFL history. We're looking at a contract that could be worth over $100 million, maybe even pushing $120 million. Of course, Parsons deserves every penny of it, but that kind of deal would put the Cowboys in a tricky financial position, especially with other big-money contracts on the roster. The Cowboys might need to get creative with the structure of Parsons' deal. Think signing bonuses, incentives, and other cap-friendly strategies, if they want to make it work without completely hampering their ability to build the rest of the roster. But hey, this is the NFL, and big deals like this are part of the business. Still, it's worth noting that while Parsons is a top-tier player, the Cowboys are facing a serious cap crunch in the coming years. They've already made moves to clear space for future signings, and with their focus on competing for a Super Bowl, keeping a guy like Parsons around for the long term would be huge. But the question remains, will they be able to make it work financially? Will the Cowboys get creative with the salary cap, or could they decide that it's better to trade him and go in a different direction? These are questions that the front office is undoubtedly thinking about behind closed doors, and the clock is ticking. If Parsons does get that extension, though, the Cowboys would have a legitimate Super Bowl contender for the foreseeable future. A defense led by Parsons, Diggs, and Lawrence, combined with an offense that can put up points with Dak and Lamb, would give the Cowboys one of the most well-rounded rosters in the NFL. This is the kind of team that could make a deep playoff run and maybe even capture that elusive Super Bowl trophy. But if the Cowboys can't get Parsons locked in and it leads to a trade, things could get messy. They'd have to scramble to replace him and figure out how to maintain that dominant defense. So what does this all mean for the Cowboys moving forward? Micah Parsons is one of the most talented players in the NFL, and keeping him is a priority for Dallas. Whether it's through a record-breaking extension or a trade, which seems unlikely but not impossible, the next few months are going to be critical in determining the direction the Cowboys go. Fans and analysts alike will be watching closely to see how Jerry Jones and the Cowboys front office handle this situation. This could be a franchise-altering decision. What do you think, Cowboys Nation? Should the Cowboys go all in on a Parsons extension, or do you think they might surprise us with a trade? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more updates on this story as it develops. Until next time, stay tuned for more news, rumors, and updates right here on the channel. As always, go Cowboys.